After this presentation today, I'm sure everyone will look back into their lives and think about those moments where they had shown resilience and bounce back from those unpleasant moments.
Enter into the shadows of a complex and often misunderstood realm, the lives and struggles of those who stay in the dark, hiding themselves from the eyes of judgment.
Ladies and gentlemen, we invite Team S12 to take us on a journey that shows us the realities and narratives within the community of female sex workers.
शायद आप लोगों को मेरी बात थोड़ी सी कड़वी लगे, लेकिन ध्यान से सुनना।
Prostitution has roots dating back to ancient civilization. The Kama Sutra, written over 2000 years ago, suggests it was a widespread profession.
As of 2022, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare reported that there were 8.25 lakh sex workers in the country, but the unofficial estimate can reach up to 10 million. According to NATO, the sex industry in India is one of the fastest growing, and at approximately of $8.4 billion.
The lives of prostitutes are a labyrinth of love and loss, pleasure and pain, where every emotion is intensified, every experience heightened by the knowledge that they exist on society's fringes. Ladies of the night, unmuted.
We conducted a cross-sectional study to assess the mental health, burnout, and the quality of life among female sex workers in their Nigerian environment. We consulted a local NGO and also informed the local police who were kind enough to accompany us.
As difficult as the task was, we went from home to home and reached out to a total of 94 female sex workers, out of which 66 of them descended to the Kakatiya study. Keeping in mind our inclusion and exclusion criteria, this was done using a respondent-driven sampling method. After overcoming the natural challenge of setting aside our own deep-seated prejudices, we made sure to approach the sex workers with sensitivity and respect. We strive towards creating a safe and non-judgmental environment where they feel comfortable to share their unique experiences and perspectives.
The purpose of our research was explained to the participants and photographs it was taken. Nirod Corner Service is eager to thank them for their time and cooperation.
Women aged between 20 to 38 years engaged in prostitution for a mean duration of 8.6 years per interview. Their mental health, quality of life and burnout were assessed using pre-tested structured questionnaires. That is, many international neuropsychiatric interviews, WHO World Prep and National Burnout Independent respectively. A little over half of our respondents were engaged in sex work in line with their family tradition, while the rest of them succumbed due to financial difficulties. Majority of them were independent in terms of their financial earnings, while only a few were involved in a mixed type of contractual agreement, where they were entitled to only half of the earnings. Coming to the very core of our research, among the many mental health issues that we screened for, as expected, depression was the most pressing and prevalent issue among all the SS studies.
When asked if they had any long, persistent periods of sadness, loneliness and confusion, 22.7% with hesitation admitted having a major depressive episode during their lifetime, among which 1/4 of them were having an episode at the time of our study. A few of them went as far as suicide and wished they were dead.
Additionally, the occupational hazard, that is the physical abuse and the violence, that plagues the lives of sex workers, only gets further, with most of them having experienced it at least once in their life. But the trauma that leads behind has been dealt with by these themselves, which contributes to severe cases of PTSD, 16.6% of them screening positive. Looking at the most serious and potentially life-threatening conditions, especially in the substance abuse world, it is not surprising to find that 81.8% of our respondents consume alcohol, 1/10 of whom screen positive for alcohol dependence.
It paves way for devastating consequences for the individual and the community, encompassing shattered relationships, mental illness, and even addiction. Apart from that, 0.03% even reported to have alcoholics, psychiatrists, and substance use disorder.
Furthermore, the reality that 18.1% of the participants screen positive for anxiety is nothing short of an alarming wake-up call, painting a vivid picture of the silent epidemic that is gradually eroding mental well-being on a massive scale.
The most frequently reported symptoms were restlessness, fatigue, irritability, and trouble concentrating and sleeping. A quick insight into the reports shows that most of the sex workers are facing generalized anxiety disorder, followed by panic and social anxiety disorders. A few of them even show signs of antisocial personality disorder. Coming to burnout, it was assessed in 3 domains, including depersonalization, emotional exhaustion, and a sense of personal accomplishment. These are coping mechanisms and help these people compartmentalize their work. Each domain above was rated as low, moderate, and high based on severity.
The statistics show that a substantial number of sex workers are emotionally exhausted, while 65.1% of them depersonalize their clients in order to shield themselves from distress and emotional attachment. Moreover, only a minuscule fraction of this population feel a sense of personal accomplishment, reflecting self-doubt due to the ever-increasing societal judgment and discrimination.
Every woman who is a part of this profession expects a better life in the end, but the striking reality of social isolation, lack of acceptance, and the physical and emotional toll they take on themselves indicates the wedge driven between existing and living, ultimately compromising their quality of life. Our study also revealed people who are educated rated their quality of life as higher compared to those who are not.
Despite the severe mentioned adversities, individuals involved in prostitution have shown remarkable resilience by forming tight-knit communities. In the face of societal stigma, legal barriers, and economic hardship, they have found a safe haven amongst themselves. Women lean on each other whenever needed, providing emotional solace. Acting as an extended family for their children, who in most cases are the sole reason of their happiness, these communities become a lifeline, enabling them to find their environment in this. To further understand the awareness and perception regarding prostitution, an online questionnaire was circulated among the students of our college. To our surprise, only 11.6% of them were aware of the laws and regulations surrounding prostitution, while 66.3% were quite sure that there were not any effective support services available for sex workers.
Furthermore, majority of people perceive the overall quality of life of female sex workers to be unsatisfactory and strongly agree they do not have safe working conditions.
3/4 of them asserted that the condition in this profession can be reversed by increasing access to healthcare services and counseling for physical and mental health.
The realm of prostitution is undeniably complex, with dimensions way beyond our understanding, challenging our moral compass. Existing in a vacuum of legal ambiguity, it is an issue that demands comprehensive reform, while we keep the root causes that drive people to this profession. It is our responsibility first year, so that we can start early on teaching people how to speak to marginalized communities and even mental health awareness.
The subject you have taken up so boldly, along with the NGO police, very well done. There's only one aspect in this which I had a doubt about, is that you have distributed condoms, which is very well appreciated because you are worried about the STDs that these people may suffer from. But you really saw that a lot of them had, nothing much to say but depression and anxiety. Why don't you think a little bit more and allow them to, allow some process for them to approach psychologists, the psychiatrists? Why don't you put in a mechanism like that, which would be more, more with empathy, with compassion that you can put across? What about that thought? Put it to you.
Thank you for the question, ma'am. As we visited 3 areas surrounding Warangal called Vannakan, Hasanpatti and Sitagar. So we made sure that as we approach the police and NGO, that we speak to the village circles and the head, who have been found to be very influential in these communities. So we try to spread awareness among those people regarding mental health, so that we can inform the female sex workers about their available options to deal with this crisis.
Adding on to my colleague, ma'am, actually India is one of the first countries to integrate treatment for physical and mental health on a primary level. So there is something called a National Mental Health Program, which was implemented in 1982. And this focuses on mental health treatment, rehabilitation and all that. It also has decentralized to have district programs and stuff. So we wanted to make sure that these programs get extended to marginalized communities as well. Because the reach of these programs is limited to the educated people, those who are aware. So we try to educate the prostitutes that there are programs such as this, there are welfare schemes already in place. They need to be aware in order to approach the authorities necessary.
I should congratulate you for taking up such an issue with such courage and approaching them directly and doing it smartly.
Thank you, sir.
That's brilliant. But yes, there are problems, but it's a complex issue. Some governments and some authorities think that by legalizing it, they are going to protect their rights. Like Sonagachi in Kolkata, West Bengal, it is almost legalized. It's open. So, but unfortunately, yes, that's very good work you have done and it's important that I have made aware. But most of them, like the condoms that you have shown very prominently, that's the reason why AIDS did not spread. HIV was supposed to spread, but they were conscious about it. That's a very important point that you have shown. The other thing, very unfortunately, contrary to that, the opposite side of the coin is those who cannot digest will have a lot of food. Those who have food cannot digest. So the other side of the coin are rave parties, nice living relationships, so many things that people do, but the other side they are suffering. So two sides of the coin of the society are there. Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I would like to add to your point. When we actually went in the first 2-3 days of the visits, during the interviews, the female sex workers actually led us to, they made us know that the Nirod condoms were not supplied by the government properly to the areas. So in our next few visits, we made sure that we went to our affiliated hospital and carried those Nirod condoms with us during the subsequent interviews.
Congratulations for having the courage, the whatever, and the empathy to conduct this. It's wonderful. I really appreciate that, Alexis. I have a few questions, just 2 questions. I want to take one of your time, and I want specific answers, not of love. First, you said that in your objective of the study, you wanted to evaluate the levels of burnout in female sex workers. So I want to understand how did you assess this burnout? How did you quantify this? Was it based on the number of hours they were working, the number of days they were working, the number of partners they were engaging with? That I want to understand. And number 2, I want your personal opinion regarding whether the sex work should be legalized or should it still be illegal or family-based. What is the right way moving forward?
Coming to your first question, sir, thank you
your personal opinion, what do you think sex work should be?
So coming to legalization, there was an act released in 1956 called IDPA, that is called the Immoral Traffic Prevention Act, which was amended recently in 2022 in India that made prostitution legalized. But under Section 3, it extends from Section 3 to Section 7. Under Section 3, owning brothels is made illegal. Under Section 4, trafficking is made illegal. Under Section 5 and 6, doing prostitution in public areas is made illegal. Under Section 8, soliciting of prostitution is made illegal. Also, in 2022, Article 21A has been extended to IDPA.
I just want your opinion.
Prostitution should be legalized, sir, because if it is not legalized, it's going to lead to a two-tier system in the society, where if they can't